Hi, good afternoon, and welcome to Jonesy Chats Wrestling. In just a few seconds, I'm going to be telling you about my NXT TakeOver stand delivered predictions and bets. Plus, I'll tell you who's behind the Franky vignettes on last night's NXT Go Home show. Stay tuned. I want to hear your opinion in the comments. I want to hear your predictions for the TakeOver. I hope you listen to Jonesy Chats Wrestling. Myself coming up next. Stay tuned. It's on the way, guys. It's coming up next. Stay tuned. Hi, welcome back to Jonesy Chats Wrestling on YouTube. I'm Jonesy. I've got a fun show coming up. In just a few seconds, I'll be discussing my NXT TakeOver standover, delivering predictions and bets. Also, later in the show, I'll be telling you who's behind the Franky vignettes on last night's NXT Go Home show. For anyone who's joined us for the first time today, new viewers and old, welcome. We hope you enjoy the show. Please give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel for all the good stuff. Please do support what we're trying to do here at Jonesy Chats Wrestling. But without further ado, let's get into it. So please let me know in the comments below what you think of NXT TakeOver. Are you excited? Are you looking forward to it? Are you up for it? It's going to be a fun show, isn't it? So let's get into the preview and predictions then. So we're going to go into it kind of now. So we're going to start with night one. Starting up with that one for you now. So night one, we might as well start with this six-man Gauntlet Eliminator match to determine the number one contender to the NXT North American Championship. We've got Leon Ruff, Isaiah Swerve Scott, Bronson Reed, Cameron Grimes, Dexter Lumis, and LA Knight. For me, really looking forward to seeing this. I did a good job on NXT last night of building this match up. I've got it down to one or two people winning. I think it's either going to be Dexter Lumis or LA Knight. Strange that they've given LA Knight the win after he lost his first match to Bronson Reed. It kind of doesn't really make sense. But for me, I think we're going to get Dexter Lumis win here. I think Dexter Lumis is your winner. This guy's obviously previously beat Austin Theory back on March 17th. Johnny Gargano, he's already got a win over. Gargano's obviously beat him back sort of at the start of January. So I think they want to continue that feud between Gargano and Lumis. I hope it'll be LA Knight. But yeah, if it's Dexter Lumis, I think it'll be okay. Let me know in the comments what you think of that, if you'd be happy with that. Are you looking forward to this match? I'm just kind of glad they got Pete Dunne out of it because I thought Pete Dunne was far too qualified to be in this match. So I'm glad he's kind of out of it. But no, definitely. Going to go into kind of the next match. We've got Pete Dunne versus Kashida. This is coming off of the follow-up from last night's great NXT show. Clearly, both these two guys, there was a massive tease of them feuding, sort of promos before match, loads of technical ability. Looking at this one for you now. So Pete Dunne, obviously, he's on a fantastic kind of... He's not had a bad year, really. He's obviously beat people such as Jake Atlas recently. He's lost to Finn Balor back at Vengeance Day, so he's challenging him for the NXT World title then. He does have a defeat against Karl OReilly. When we look at this, Kashida's been really, really solid. He's got a lot of wins. He's beat Tyler Russ back at the start of February. He's also beat Austin Theory at the start of February. He did lose to Jordan Devlin, crucially, though. I think that was last week on NXT TV. And he also lost his NXT North American title shot back at Vengeance Day, NXT TakeOver. For me, my prediction for this one, I think Pete Dunne's winning this. I can't see Pete Dunne not winning this. I think Pete Dunne is... far too good to be in this spot to lose to Kashida. So I think definitely we're going to get a Pete Dunne win here. Going to go to the comments quickly. Always Talk Wrestling. Hello, Always Talk Wrestling. Great to see you here. Thank you for checking out the video. Appreciate your time. Appreciate the comment. I hope you enjoy this video. I hope it's a good one. Yeah, so as we were saying, so Kashida, Pete Dunne, from an in-ring perspective, it'll be great. But Pete Dunne's winning this all day long. I can't see Kashida winning. I think it'll be a real travesty if Pete Dunne doesn't follow up the great work he's done sort of earlier on. Going into kind of the next match then. So our next match on this one, we have got the Walter facing Tommaso Ciampa. Walter's obviously never lost a singles match. He has been the NXT UK champion since April 2019, where he beat Pete Dunne, and that was an NXT TakeOver. He's obviously been on a really kind of good run. He has beat people such as A-Kid recently back on January 14th. He's also beat Drake Maverick. When we look at Tommaso Ciampa, unfortunately, has been a jobber. He's only really ever had one singles win this year so far, where he beat Marcel Bartel back on March 17th. He was very unsuccessful with Timothy Thatcher in the tag team. In the Dusty Classics, they weren't very successful. His last sort of win was against Bartel, as we said. He lost to Thatcher in the Fight Pit. For me, this is going to be a great in-ring match. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. But Walter's not losing the United Kingdom title here. I know he's had this title for quite a while. I think there's no chance of him losing it here. So I think he's a cert. Walter's going to win this. I think it'll be a really, really kind of good match. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do here. Going to go quickly now to the next match as well. Next match we've got a new one here. So this is for the NXT tag team titles, the men's tag team titles, triple threat. So we've got MSK, Grizzled Young Veterans, and Legado del Fantasma. When we look at this, obviously this is the vacant titles since Birch vacated with only Lorcan, obviously for injury. So MSK never lost a match in NXT yet, still unbeaten. They hold wins over both teams. They beat sort of Grizzled Young Veterans back on Feb 14. They also beat Legado del Fantasma as well. So they've never lost a match at MSK. They've also the winners of the Dusty Cup. When we look at the Grizzled Young Veterans, they were having a pretty successful year until they placed MSK. So they've lost to MSK recently. They've also lost to Legado Fantasma back on March 10th. But they do have wins over Drake Maverick and Killian Dane. They've also got a win over Kashida and Leon Ruff. And they also hold a win over Tommy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa. So that they're middle of the road. Let's look at Legado Fantasma. For me, they're looking really, really good. They've only lost one tag match this year. That was against MSK. They've got wins over Drake and Gibson, Brizango and Lucha House Party. So they're pretty strong. For me, there's only one winner in this match. I think the winners staying unbeaten are going to be MSK. I think this will be a really good in-ring match. Looking forward to seeing kind of what happens there. I think it'll be a really fun match. Really kind of looking forward to kind of seeing what happens in the match and how it plays out, if that makes sense. So going to go into the next match. So next match we've got obviously the NXT Women's Title match. We've got Io Shirai facing Raquel Gonzalez. Io Shirai, she's been a fantastic champion. She's got recent wins over Toni Storm. She won the triple threat over Toni Storm, Mercedes Martinez at NXT Vengeance Day. Last year, she beat people such as Rhea Ripley, Candice LeRae, Shotzi Blackheart, and she also holds a win over Sasha Banks. She beat Sasha Banks at NXT Great American Bash last year as well. She's had this NXT Women's title since 7th of June 2020, and she's not lost a singles match by pinfall since she lost back in December 2019 to Rhea Ripley. So she's been a very good champion. She doesn't really lose singles matches. When we look at her opponent, Raquel Gonzalez, Raquel has been pretty good. She's been pretty steady. Her only singles loss since October was where she lost to Rhea Ripley at Halloween Havoc. She also lost in a ladder match to Shotzi Blackheart, so it wasn't a pinfall loss. She did crucially pin Io Shirai back at NXT War Games. That was a fantastic match, everyone knows. And she does hold wins in 2021 over Rhea Ripley, and she's one half of the Women's Dusty Cup winner. For me, my prediction here, we're going to get a new NXT Women's Champion here. It's all day long. Raquel Gonzalez is going to win this. I think it'll be a great travesty if Raquel Gonzalez doesn't get the win here. She's been built so well. The job they did on NXT this week wasn't particularly great of Io. Io just kind of got destroyed in every element. So she went out and called out Raquel continually and then got destroyed. So for me, Raquel to win this, and I think we need a new women's champion. So I'm interested to see what happens. Going to quickly kind of go to the comments quickly. I've got one here from DC Wrestling. Hello, DC Wrestling. Good to see you, mate. Thank you for checking out the video. I feel as though Karl versus OReilly should be the main event on 9-1. Quite possibly. I think it's a big main event. I think night 2 is very more stat than night 1, but the video packages this week for NXT for that feud has been amazing. I think they've done a great job there. Looking forward to seeing it either way. Going to quickly go into the rest of it. Just see if we've got anything else on night 1, actually, before I skip forward. Yeah, that is it for kind of night 1 at the moment. So we've got them matches. I think they all look pretty clear cut. It's going to be great in ring. I'm going to skip to night 2 now. So night 2 matches. So we'll start in night 2. So we've got obviously the women's tag team titles. This was announced this week on NXT. We've got Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart defending against the Way, Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. When we look at this, obviously Ember Moon and Shotzi, they've had the belt sort of for a while. They won the belt, obviously going back sort of when we look at NXT TV back on March 10th, where they did get a win over Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. They've been a pretty steady team. Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. They've obviously faced sort of Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell twice before. They've won both times, so they are 2-0 up in the series. When we look at the Way have been okay. They got this win over Gigi Dolan and Zida Rama this week. That was last night, obviously on NXT. They've also got wins sort of over other job teams, but they've never been able to beat Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. When I think who's winning this, for me, I think we're going to get the women's tag team champions retain. Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart are getting the win here. I don't see them dropping the belt here. They beat this team twice already. Why would they drop them? Why would they lose this time? I don't think it's any different. And when you look at it, this Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart team haven't had the belt for very long. They've only had the belt sort of since the 10th of March. So it's not very long, is it, for them to have the belt as well? Going to go to the comments quickly as well. SCW Wrestling Channel. Good to see you here, Steve. Thank you for the comment and checking that video. NXT TakeOver looks stat. Kind of wish we got Zoe Stark versus Dakota Kai as a last-minute addition. What are your thoughts on Zoe Stark? I think she could be a future star. I think she's fantastic from what I've seen of her. I think she's really, really good in the ring. I think she creates a good buzz. I'm interested to know. Please let me know in the comments as well. Use guys and use well, Steve, if you're still watching. Who do we think is going to be a bigger star, Jade Cargill or Zoe Stark? I think it's going to be a close call. Both of them have got star written all over them. Going to go to the other comment we got here as well. Yo, Limit CR21. Good afternoon, mate. Great to see you here. Thank you for checking out the video. Thank you for leaving a comment. I hope you enjoy the video anyway. So let's get to this. So we're going to carry on going forward with this NXT Night 2 TakeOver card. So we've obviously got the NXT North American title. We've got Johnny Gargano defending against whoever wins the Gauntlet Eliminator. I said earlier in the video, I think the winner of that is going to be Dexter Lumis. It's either Dexter Lumis or LA Knight. I'll go with the logic. It's Dexter Lumis here. It's Johnny Gargano. He's obviously been an okay champion. He's obviously traded the belts with Leon Ruff earlier on. He does have that loss to Dexter Lumis back at the end of February, but he does have wins over Kashida. Crucially, whenever the title belt's up, since he won it back from Leon Ruff, he always seems to get the win. For me, when we look at this, I think, there's only one kind of winner in this. I think Johnny Gargano's winning. He's going to retain the belt here. I don't see them changing this belt off Johnny Gargano to give us Dexter Lumis. But if it is LA Knight, I think it would be great to see LA Knight win the belt of Johnny Gargano, but I just can't see it. I think Johnny Gargano is retaining here. Going to go quickly to this NXT Cruiserweight title. We've obviously got Santos Escobar facing Jordan Devlin. This is a ladder match. Obviously, this is set up by Shawn Michaels making a cameo on NXT. I think it was about 2 weeks ago. Looking at this match here, so obviously Santos Escobar, he's obviously had the belt since he won the interim NXT Championship tournament. That was back in May last year, so he's had it quite a while. That was before he did his gimmick change. So he went from El Hijo del Fantasma into Santos Escobar. When we look at his recent runs, this guy's been booked like an absolute monster. If you ignore his loss to Karrion Kross, he should never have been a feud with Karrion Kross in the first place. This guy's got wins over Kurt Stallion, Grand Metalik. He's got wins over Jake Atlas. You know what I mean? Isaiah Save Squad. He just doesn't lose matches. This guy's an absolute machine. He obviously crucially beat Grand Metalik back at New Year's Evil as well, which is a big win. Jordan Devlin, an absolute another guy. He's another one that's on a fantastic win run. He's only ever lost one singles match, and that was against Tyler Bate back at NXT UK TakeOver, Blackpool 2, back in 2020. So both these guys are coming into it in the Cruiserweight matches unbeaten, really. They're both on fantastic runs. For me, who do I think is winning this? It depends if Legado del Fantasma get involved. I think it'll be great from the in-ring perspective. And it's all down to whether they want to shake things up. Do they want to go with the babyface? Do they want to change the title? It's just very tough to think. I think if I'm going to put my neck on the line, I think we'll get Jordan Devlin, get the win here. It makes sense for sort of Santos Escobar to drop the belt. I think he's had the belt for a while, so Jordan Devlin winning would be a massive sort of good thing. I think this will be a fun match. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you are still watching, who you think is going to win this. Going to quickly go to the comment. I've got a good comment here, so let's go to that. The Limitless CR21. Jordan will win the belt versus Escobar. Going to be a good match too. 100% agree, brother. I think it's going to be a very good match. I think it's going to be really, really kind of good. So going to carry on with this NXT Night 2 predictions. Sorry, Night 1. I've already done that. Night 2. So let's carry on with this then. So Night 2 predictions. And Night 2 predictions on this. We've got this Adam Cole versus Karl OReilly match. So this match obviously has been built up. They've done a great job of building this up. It feels like a massive feud. It's sort of, there's no rules, if that makes sense. NXT have made him sign a waiver. I think this will be very hard hitting. I think it's going to be great. When we look at both wrestlers, let's break it down. So obviously Adam Cole, this is an unsanctioned match, as we said. So Adam Cole, he lost to Finn Balor back on March 10th in a title match. He's not won a singles match this year. It doesn't look like he's not had many matches at all. His last singles win was against Velveteen Dream back at NXT Gargano Christmas. So he's not really been wrestling. I don't know if he's injured or whatever else, but when we look at this, Karl OReilly's been a journeyman, done loads of matches this year. He's got a win over Pete Dunne, sort of back in December. He lost to Finn Balor at NXT New Year's Evil, so he did have his world title shot. And he's also not won a match for a while. So both these two wrestlers are coming in not particularly strong. I think this is a change of the guard. I'd love to say that I would have normally said that Adam Cole would win this all day long, but I think Karl OReilly's getting a win here. I think they're changing up. I think Adam Cole definitely doesn't need the win, whereas Karl OReilly needs this win to get him to the next tier, particularly if the world title belts change and they want to put Karl OReilly over as a main contender for the world title again. He's obviously had these shots earlier where he's fouled. This is the time to really get him the big win, if that makes sense. Quickly going forward with this now as well. So we obviously got this NXT main event. So this is a match that's been building for a while. We've got the singles match NXT title. So we've got Karrion Kross with Scarlett facing Finn Balor. When we look at the champion, Finn Balor, this guy's been a fantastic champion. He's been on an unbeatable run for ages. Hasn't lost a singles match for God knows how long. He's beat people such as Adam Cole. He's got wins over Roderick Strong. He's beat Pete Dunne back at Vengeance Day. He also sort of beat Karl OReilly a couple of times. This guy's beat everybody that's been put in front of him. He's held the world title obviously since NXT Super Tuesday back in September. So that was obviously where Karrion Kross vacated the belt just before that due to injury. His last singles loss, Finn Balor, was back in August 2020 where he lost to Velveteen Dream. I don't know what that was about. Please tell me in the comments. That's a bit weird. let's look at Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross, what more can I say? This guy's never lost a singles match. He beat people such as Jordy Loken. He took the belt originally off Keith Lee back at NXT TakeOver in August. He then got injured and vacated it, but he has got wins over Bronson Reed, Ciampa, Damian Priest. This guy's beat everybody. For me, what I think is going to happen here, I think we're getting a new champion here. I think Karrion Kross is winning the belt. I'll be amazed if he doesn't win it. The only thing that's going to stop him winning the belt is if he's going up to the main roster. But the way they've got a lack of putting people up onto the main roster now, due to this COVID thing going on, people going from NXT don't really seem to change. So I think Karrion Kross to win this. I'd be very surprised if Balor wins this. I would love to see them do the Demon versus Karrion Kross, but they didn't obviously do that. They are saving the Demon back for when they actually have a crowd, I believe, which is kind of sensible probably in that case. I'm going to quickly kind of go to the comments quickly. Got a great one here from CR21. Adam Cole debut after Mania, baby. I don't know, as I said, that would be great. It's about time that he's up there, really. He's good enough to be up there. It's just the size of him that sort of holds him back. Obviously, WWE are pushing these larger-than-life people. Adam Cole is quite small, but he's a very technical wrestler. He could add something to Raw, that's for sure. Definitely. I'm going to quickly kind of go as well just to this. So obviously we've got this NXT TakeOver. In terms of my bet, before I sort of forget, the bet I've chosen for the TakeOver. So I'm going to put my money on this bet. And this is the triple I've gone for. So I've got Karrion Kross at 4-9, Raquel Gonzalez 1-2, MSK 1-2. Walter is a cert as well, as anybody says. I agree with that. But the odds are so bad on Walter. But this is the bet I've gone. Follow at your own risk. Always gamble responsibly as such. But no, just before we kind of end the video, I am going to kind of go into this update regarding this new character on NXT. So we obviously got the Viginettes yesterday. There's a dog on site called Franky, and there's a dog running around NXT. Something about Franky. So the reveal on that one. This is a spoiler. You might want to mute it if you don't want to know. So Taya Valkyrie is Franky. Franky is going to be known as Franky Monet. That'll be her full name. She's debuting sort of the week after TakeOver, but it will be Taya Valkyrie. Looks like a Carmella gimmick from sort of the Viginettes. The dog is hers. Interesting to see her on this. She was a fantastic talent in Impact Wrestling. But yeah, no, I think it'll be a great debut. I hope you enjoyed the kind of the Viginettes as well. Let me know in the comments below what your predictions are for NXT TakeOver. Are you excited to see Taya Valkyrie debut? And are you looking forward to this pay-per-view? Let me know if you're looking forward to seeing this pay-per-view more than WrestleMania. There is going to be an NXT review coming later. That will be done by my colleague Steve. He's going to be starting regular NXT reviews. I have seen it already. It's very good. Please check that out. Please obviously give it a thumbs up as well. But this is it from me. So I'm going to end the video. This has been Jonesy Chats Wrestling. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up. And also please leave a comment below. And as always, please subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the takeover. And thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. And it's on the way. Just take care and enjoy it.